Hey guys, today I'm going to be taking you through a full body dynamic warm-up that should be performed before you get into your workouts. Warm-ups are super valuable and important because they help to prep our joints and muscle prior to physical exercise, as well as they help our mobility get better over time. They also help us to activate certain muscle groups prior to training so we can use our body in a more cohesive fashion when it comes time to lift. So I remember when I was way younger, I would never warm up. I would just kind of jump straight into the exercise, maybe do a light set of the exercise, and kind of would go in basically dry to every single movement. And I would never recommend doing that anymore because your risk for injury just goes way, way up. Note that this is a general warm-up sequence, and for your unique circumstances, I may add other movements in to make it more tailored and specific to you. That being said, this is a fantastic warm-up and a great way to preface any single workout. Let's get into it. So the first thing we're gonna do is get warm. So I always start my warm-ups either on the assault bike or the rowing machine, as they're full body experiences that are really gonna allow me to heat up my entire body, increase blood flow, and this is gonna increase the pliability of my body for the warm-up at hand. Our first movement is going to be a cat-cow for 6 repetitions of each movement. Make sure to inhale when you look up and create that beautiful bowl shape with your back. And then exhale as you drive your belly button towards your spine and create that nice rainbow arch with your back. This is a great exercise for your spine and will help open up your upper back. Next, we'll move into an upward and downward dog. We'll also do 6 repetitions of each position here. From a plank position, push your hips high and your head through your shoulders, and then try to drive your heels down to the floor as best you can. Hold it for a few seconds. Feel free to add a little pedaling of the heels if it feels good to you. This will really help open up your shoulders, hamstrings, and calves. Follow this up by transitioning forward into an upward dog. You can come back through the initial plank position and we'll drop the hips low and bring the chest high. Keep your arms fully extended. This is really stretching out your abdominals and hip flexors and is a great chest opening position. Hold for a few seconds and we'll be heading back on up to our downward dog. Next, we're moving into our sideline clock. For this movement, we're gonna be on our side with our knees at 90 degrees and our back in a nice straight line. We're gonna have our arms stacked out in front of us, and the top arm is gonna go over the top of our head, and then we're gonna drop our shoulder to the floor behind us in a full rotation all the way around to our back. Don't let your knees come apart here, as I want you to keep them together and in place. Then come back up the way you came to the start position and repeat 6 reps on each side. Now we're heading into the world's greatest stretch. This movement really helps to open up our hips, mid-back, and shoulders. You'll want to get into a deep lunge position here, and then plant both hands on the inside of the front leg. If it's available to you, lift the back leg off the ground for a deeper stretch. If you can't though, that's okay. Keep the back knee on the ground. From here, we're gonna take the middle arm, and I want you to think about driving your elbow down towards the ground and then reaching through slightly while keeping your hip open. And then I want you to open up all the way as high as you can go, and we'll do 6 reps on each side. Now we're gonna move into some activation work, with the first movement being the bird dog. For the bird dog, you're gonna wanna start in the quadruped position and then lift one opposing arm and leg. We're kicking straight back with the legs so we get that glute activation and lifting our arm up overhead into a Y position. Come back to the center and flex your abdominals and then repeat. This is an amazing exercise to strengthen your core, lower back, and glutes. Really what we're practicing here is keeping our core stable while we're moving our limbs away from our body, which is necessary for most movements in the gym. For the bird dog, we'll perform 8 repetitions on each side. Secondly, we're moving into a side plank. For this movement, we'll be flat on our forearm and elbow on the ground in a nice straight line and having our feet split. The bottom foot is on the back and the top foot is forward. Squeeze your glute and keep a stiff core as you hold this position. This will help strengthen your transverse abdominis and obliques and glutes and shoulders. We'll be holding the side plank for anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds. Next, we have a glute bridge. Starting from our back, I'm going to simply touch my middle finger to my heel to find the proper distance. From there, I want to tilt my pelvis slightly upwards towards where I'm going to be pushing, and then think about actively bracing my core. Then I'll push firmly into the ground with my feet and squeeze my glutes. Remember to use your whole foot here and not just your heels. Give a good squeeze at the top, hold, and then repeat. We're gonna do the glute bridge for a total of 10 repetitions. Lastly, we're moving into a band pull apart. Using a light band, we wanna grab it with an overhand grip. Use one piece of the band if you want it to be easier, grab both pieces of the band if you're stronger. Keeping the elbows slightly bent, we wanna pull the band apart to our sternum and then turn the wrists out slightly at the end of the movement. Imagine pinching a pencil between your shoulder blades and squeezing for a second before returning to the start position. Do this exercise for 15 to 20 repetitions. And that's it, guys, an awesome warm-up sequence that will prepare you for basically any workout. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like it and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.